Oscar Pistorius, the man with no legs. He is a world-class athlete who competed in the 2012 Summer Olympics and 2012 Summer Paralympics, receiving 3 gold medals for the country of South Africa. They call him the Blade Runner. Why? Because he has 2 long curved pieces of metal where his legs should be. Being only 11 months old, doctors had to amputate Oscar's legs because of certain medical complications. Because of biomedical engineering, Oscar Pistorius was able to run and live his dream of being in the Olympics. My name is Hector Tejada, and I'm here to explain to you about biomedical engineering and how it benefits our society. Now, what is biomedical engineering? Biomedical engineering is a fusion of biology, medicine, and of course, engineering. Biomedical engineering's main focus, main goal, is to invent mechanisms to help human beings who are incapable of living normal lives. Now, biomedical engineering goes way back. Some say that it started with the Egyptians and that they were the first biomedical engineers. They say they were the first biomedical engineers because they are the ones that developed the first mechanisms to help incapable human beings live better. Now, one example is that they developed the first foot crutch. They had 2 pieces of wood and just kept it tightly wrapped around the foot so the human being could walk and do easier things. Since then, biomedical engineering has grown a lot. Gradually, but slowly, but it has grown a lot. In the past 200 years, medical and technological advancements have been rising exponentially. Since then, biomedical engineering has integrated technology and computers. Some new forms of biomedical engineering today are computer-based and technology-based, and one example is the tongue drive. Now, what the tongue drive does is it allows a human being who is paralyzed from the neck down to operate his or her wheelchair or other things. What this mechanism does, it takes a signal of the tongue's movement and emulates it through the wheelchair or another machine. There are also similar things to the tongue drive, such as the eye motion sensor, which work the same way. And there are many other things being developed because of biomedical engineers, such as artificial organs and artificial limbs. Now, biomedical engineers can work in many different areas. There are different types of engineers. For example, there are the clinical biomedical engineers that work in hospitals. They work with doctors and nurses and patients, and they are the ones who have the patients they put on the patient's prosthetic limbs or prosthetic organs or artificial organs. And there are other biomedical engineers called hardware manufacturer engineers or hardware management engineers, and they're the ones that design and build the technology. They design, build, and test it so that the clinical biomedical engineers can put it in a human being, I guess you can say. Now, there are other engineers called researchers, and they work in labs and just do the research and designs, but they don't build it or test it. And they also work in universities because there's a lot of access to information. Now, the education for being a biomedical engineer is very hard and difficult and tedious. A biomedical engineer is required to have knowledge of both biology and engineering and medicine. So their undergraduate career has to do with getting a bachelor in science of biology, sometimes chemistry, certain engineerings like mechanical or electrical engineering, or some other pre-med type engineering, bachelor's. Now, after that, nowadays, everyone that wants to be a biomedical engineer has to go to graduate school. They have to go and get their master's degree and a PhD degree also. There are many graduate programs nowadays in big universities such as Texas A&M and the University of Austin that have undergrad programs of biomedical engineering and also graduate programs. Biomedical engineering is growing a lot, so many schools have adopted biomedical engineering. The salary of a biomedical engineer starts up to from like 45,000, but it can go all the way up to 135,000. It depends on the experience of that biomedical engineer, and they make a lot of money. Because of that, biomedical engineering is growing a lot. Many more people are getting interested in biomedical engineering, and many more people are realizing that biomedical engineering is the future. Humans, and not just humans, animals are suffering from more diseases, more tragic injuries, and biomedical engineering can help all of them. Biomedical engineering can cure many forms of illnesses, and can cure many forms of broken bones and stuff like that. Now the future of biomedical engineering is quickly rising, and soon we are going to have many biomedical engineers, and that's why it is very important. Thank you.